Well, a very, very good morning to you. It's Andrew Eborn here, and you're joining me for another live at 5:55 right here on Octopus TV, and it's wonderful to see you along. This morning we had many people say they wanted to come through the park again and to revisit the wonderful St John's Lodge, which is a perfect start to the morning. As you will find that today the government will be announcing that they're going to be easing the restrictions on social distancing, and I thought it'd be a perfect start for the day as we think about the new world that we're coming into, as people are going to start getting back together, as we start working on the principle that we will be easing back into hopefully normality. And say the government will announce today, I can break the news to you, that they'll be announcing that they're going to be reducing the special restrictions that have been in place for several months now. So the 2-meter rule will be reduced, and we will see whether we're going to be reducing as they are in some countries around the world, as we said, all the way from 2 meters down to 1.5. But you're watching me, you're joining me here today. I'm taking you along to St John's Lodge and the gardens, which is one of the quietest, most peaceful places to start in London. You can start your day, and as we always do, just showing you on the map where we are. This is right here by Regent's Park, by the Central London Mosque and the Open Air Theatre, the zoo which I took you to the other morning, and the Jewish Museum of London. And we're currently right here just by Queen Mary's Gardens and just by the lodge. Now the lodge was designed as a perfect place for meditation. And what I thought I'd do this morning is, as you wake up to what's going to be a rather special day, is just to walk you through so you can enjoy the peace and tranquility of one of the most glorious hidden spots within the heart of London, when the only soundtrack is nature itself. Now the rules itself are going to be updated today. They're going to reduce that from 2 meters, and businesses are starting to open up all over London. Morning Adam, morning Sam, morning Craig, thank you for joining us. We're here in the beautiful St John's Lodge Gardens. And St John's Lodge, the gardens themselves were designed as the perfect place for meditation. Whilst the lodge itself is private, the gardens are one of the hidden secrets here right in the heart of Regent's Park. It's open to the general public. People can come in here and just sit and enjoy the gardens. And the gardens themselves were opened in 1889. They were designed by Robert Weir Schultz. Robert Weir Schultz, he was commissioned to design these gardens, and he designed them as a place suitable for meditation. If you're joining us now, you're joining me live, Andrew Eborn, here in the heart of London, in the heart of Regent's Park. This is St John's Lodge Gardens, which have been opened since the 1800s as a very special place designed for reflection. And the centrepiece of the garden used to be St John the Baptist. It's now Hylas and the Nymph. And behind there you can see the lodge itself, St John's Lodge, which is a private residence. But the gardens themselves are open. If you look at the water, you can see the insects. There they go. And it's the perfect start to the day. Well, it's going to be quite an extraordinary day as they relax the social distancing regulations. I can let you know exclusively here on the Andrew Eborn Show that there will be an announcement later today that the 2-metre rule will no longer be in place. This statue, to all protectors of the defenceless, was erected as a memory of exactly that, supported by the animal welfare and various others. Delighted that you could join us. We have Anne with us today, we have Adam Hollyoak, Sam, Ryan, and what I found is that thousands upon thousands of people have been coming with me on these glorious journeys. It's live at 5:55 here on the Andrew Eborn Show. You should join me for my morning walk. And if you have been following these exploits, we've been doing this every morning, been walking around London, and the joy, the fantastic start that we have right here, being spoiled in what I call the lungs of London, the parks that we have. And we're currently in St John's Lodge Gardens, St John's Lodge Gardens, which are open to the public. It's a little hidden gem that very few people know about. And these gardens were designed as a special place for meditation. You can sit and listen to the bird song. And there's no better soundtrack to the morning news than hearing nature royalty free. This is a sculpture called The Awakening, and it's in fond memory of Anne Lydia Evans, who shared the secret of this garden. She's from 1929, the same year as my mother was born, and so until 1999. You're joining us live at 5:55. It's me, Andrew Eborn. Every morning we go on these wonderful walks around the centre of London just to kick-start the day. And this morning I brought you along to the fabulous St John's Lodge garden. As always, I'm the only person here. Nobody's crazy enough to get up at this time of the morning other than me. And I thought it's just a moment of reflection as London starts to reopen. I can tell you that just ahead of the government announcement today that they will be relaxing the rules on social distancing. We've had 2 meters here. I've been talking to people around the world, and what's happened is that they've decided that in order to make it viable for businesses, they will need to relax those rules. In some countries they have just 1 meter. I've spoken to people around the world in Australia, we've been to New Zealand, in Japan and various other places. And what's really interesting is that businesses, they do need to be able to get people closer together. So retail is starting to open up. We've also had various theatres and cinemas in France. I was talking to Theo Philippe, who will be with us again this afternoon, and he was telling us about the rules in France, where they are having theatres opening, they are having concerts opening. Morning, Nick, nice to see you. You're joining us live in St John's Lodge Gardens as we start this morning. And this garden is designed for meditation. And if you are joining us for the first time, very, very warm welcome to all of you. It's Andrew Eborn here, live at 5:55, and every morning I take you on my morning walk around London. You can explore some of the most glorious places, often hidden from the enormous tourist route, but everybody has a chance to enjoy and to sample what London has to offer, and without having to spend fortunes on passes and various other things. London itself is a fantastic place. It's opening up for business. We're getting people from around the world who will be joining us live here, not just in London but on the programme itself. I've had people from Australia to Zambia and many places in between. And this morning we're starting a new series which is an introduction, the ultimate guide to wine, and taking you all the way to Corsica a little bit later on. And in Corsica we're going to be meeting Theo Philippe, and he's going to give you everything you wanted to know about wine, so do watch that. We've got guides on gliding, we've got guides on how to make cakes with some of the top chefs in the world. It's basically the ultimate lifestyle programming here on Octopus TV. Don't forget, do subscribe. You can go to YouTube, you can find us on Daily Motion, Octopus TV, and every day we're producing new content. This particular section is just live at 5:55, which is just my little wanderings around London, and it's wonderful to have you along in an appropriate special day. Where this is St John's Lodge Gardens. It's a little secret garden that not many people know about, and I can reveal that it's just by Regent's Park, just by my home in Regent's Park. And of a morning we can just wander down and enjoy a glorious, glorious start to the day. Delighted you could join us, April. Hope you're doing well. Nick, it's lovely to see you. We have so many people join us around the world. We have people from Japan. Kaz is from Japan. We have people from Australia. Andrew Hall is from Australia. He's been on the show. Lots of people from Korea. We have Albert and Young Hoon from Korea. We have people in China, people in Hong Kong, all the way over to Belgium. Marion watches in Belgium. We're doing some special Bee Gees tour, which we're having with RJ Gibb. We'll be looking at London. And for me, the real sound of the summer is waking up with the wood pigeons. The centrepiece statue for these gardens used to be St. John the Baptist. Has been replaced with the Nymph, Hylas and the Nymph. So if you do have an opportunity, do pop down. As I say, this is one of the hidden gems of London. It's just by St. John's Lodge. St. John's Lodge itself, which is right in front of us, is a private, but the actual garden is open to all. And if you do get a chance, do pop along. Let me know you're coming. Be great to see you. Today on the show we have lots of fantastic guests, as always, and can be joined by Theo Philippe, who is our wine expert from Corsica, and he'll be providing the ultimate guide to wine. We'll be going gliding. We're going to be teaching people how to glide, what you need to do, the basic introduction to so many different activities which are planned. I'll be talking to legendary promoter and producers. We've got lots of the usual sprinkling of superstars, all that sort of thing. So do not forget to go over to Octopus TV, sign up on YouTube. If you subscribe on YouTube, you'll find you'll get exclusive access to some of the best content that we could possibly produce with your help. Basically, this is designed for you in mind. Is people write in and they say, I'd like to see this, or I would like to learn from some of the world's experts. And what I've done, I've gone through my Rolodex and had a look at the different people that I know around the world and basically brought them on the subtly called Andrew Eborn show. And what we do is, it's extraordinary. I was quite amazed myself how many people we actually know around the world who can come on the programme and talk to us about all those sort of things. Every morning we do a live at 5:55 where you join me on my walk around central London, and I say we're spoilt rotten. If you have a look at what's actually out there, as we start talking today about social distancing and how those rules are going to be eased, I can break the news to you that they're changing the rule from 2 meters, and they're going to start following what they do in some countries. In some countries they do 1.5 meters, in others 1 meter, and the impact on retail is quite extraordinary. But for now, I've been Andrew Eborn. It's been fantastic that you could join me on my early morning walk. I wish you every happiness in whatever you're doing today, and very much hope that you will join me again for another live at 5:55. And I'm delighted to be joined by Kaz. We were talking earlier. This is St. John's Wood, St. John's Lodge Gardens, and it's a place designed for meditation, where you can start your fantastic morning in one of the most peaceful places in the heart of London. And it is the best soundtrack to the morning, as nature's called. The bird song is quite simply superb. The gardens are curated. It provides a perfect opportunity for peace and reflection during these quite troubled times. I always start my morning nice and early, and those of you who've been on these morning journeys, you realise that I here every morning live at 5:55, and it's a delight that so many of you can join me. And so we have people from all around the world who come on to the Andrew Eborn show, and they talk about their experiences during these extraordinary times. They talk about coping mechanisms. We've had everything from 5-star chefs to people teaching us how to glide. Today we have a wine expert all the way from Corsica, where we're starting a new series about the ultimate guide, Andrew Eborn's ultimate guide to wine. So if you'd like to join us for that, go over to Octopus TV and you can see we're on YouTube, we're on Daily Motion, and we're also talking with traditional broadcasters about various segments and formats that we could introduce to this show. If you'd like to be on the show or you have suggestions for guests, write to me at Andrew Eborn at lol@octopustv.com. And I'm very keen in particular to get people around the world who can share their experience, because it's by doing that we get a real chance to appreciate the finer things in life and how people are coping around the world in these extraordinary times. And I do think, as a principle, that the one positive thing we can bring out of this is the wonderful experience of how life can be superb. There are lots of things within London, and I've taken you on the tour to see what's going on. We took you down Regent Street, you've been to Oxford Street with me. We visited London Zoo fairly recently, and we were talking about all the crowds that are reported on the media, and the reality is it's actually empty. London is open for business, but the one thing that's missing is you. And this is the perfect soundtrack to the morning. It's just hearing the bird song. So I'm going to leave you here. I thank you very much for joining me. I've been Andrew Eborn, and every morning live at 5:55 you can join me on my early morning walks as we catch up with the news and the people overnight and see what they've been doing. But we wake up to a glorious morning here in London. Temperatures reported this week of being in excess of 30 degrees, so it's going to be a bit of a scorcher. Whatever you're doing today, thank you so much for starting your day with me here at St John's Lodge Gardens. I very much hope that you'll join me next time. And don't forget, go over to Octopus TV where you can see some fantastic content, everything from all sorts of people from all around the world. But for me, Andrew Eborn, have a great day, and I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.